increasingly powerful and aggressive China cannot be overestimated. Members of this special class either seek or are approached with lucrative deals, market access, and accolades. In return, naively or not, strategic and economic benefits flow to the Beijing regime. This has been a vital approach pursued by the communist government, a strategy first proposed by Mao in 1956, Yang Wei Zhong Yong, or Make the Foreign Serve China. More than 60 years later, the strategy has only become more aggressive. Beijing offers deals, inducements, praise, and access to seduce foreign elites into serving their interests. As Professor Anne-Marie Brady, a premier specialist in Chinese influence operations, puts it, Beijing forges close partnerships of mutual advantage with highly prominent foreign figures who can bring commercial or political advantages to China. In the world of espionage, practitioners use the term elite capture to describe successful efforts to essentially buy off members of a country's leadership. Opportunities to get wealthy are a key motivator. Beijing hopes that at a minimum, this approach will neutralize members of the elite by making them less critical or resistant to their policies, or at a maximum, turn them into actual advocates for Beijing's position. But for some, there are other motives beyond just money. As we will see, too many of America's political, tech, and finance elites share an infatuation with dictatorship. They seem quite content with, indeed even endorse the notion that we should trust people to pick their breakfast cereal, but not their government leaders. They believe that Beijing dictatorship is more efficient, even a better system overall than representative democracy. Their endorsements are often quoted by Chinese government media. In short, American elites are granting legitimacy to the Chinese government and are rewarded with large financial deals. Some prominent figures will point to a negative statement they have made about the Beijing regime as evidence that they are tough on China. But this is largely a diversion. To be clear, Beijing does not require American collaborators to toe the party line. Beijing pragmatically accepts some level of public criticism from the elites with whom it is working. The idea is known as big help with a little bad mouth. Tolerating some dissent and criticism from its foreign partners is wise because it maintains their partners' cloak of credibility in the eyes of the American public. As long as these elites deliver on key policies and actions that benefit the regime, some criticism is acceptable. So, who exactly are these American elites who, indeed, if not in word, wittingly or unwittingly promote the dictatorial Beijing regime? Some of the most prominent names in big tech, Wall Street, and American politics figure into this story. This book will bring into focus what many of us have known, anecdotally, for decades. Leading Americans have collaborated extensively with a brutal regime for personal gain. We will continue to consider the case with new evidence of arguably the most powerful man in the world making excuses for Beijing while his family secured multiple deals with Beijing worth tens of millions of dollars. This through the courtesy of individuals with direct ties to Chinese intelligence. We will bring to light another presidential family that has benefited through 2 generations from deals with Beijing. A family whose members now appear on Chinese state television, touting the regime's accomplishments. We will turn to Capitol Hill and draw the curtain back on the U.S. Speaker of the House, whose family has enjoyed profitable, decades-long dealings with Beijing, allowing it to influence their positions on the most important issues of the day. We will meet a powerful U.S. senator, chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, who has excused Beijing's actions while her family secured a string of deals with China. We will be introduced to former U.S. senators and members of Congress, who are now on the payroll of Beijing and military-linked firms, lobbying on their behalf in the corridors of Washington. We will be introduced to several former U.S. ambassadors to China, who are now getting rich working for Chinese entities in the United States. We will learn about a former U.S. Senator and U.S. Secretary of Defense now helping Chinese state-owned enterprises compete against U.S. companies. We will expose the former high-ranking U.S. intelligence and security officials now helping Beijing more easily acquire U.S. technologies. From Silicon Valley, we will meet some of the richest tech entrepreneurs in the world and their troubling bonds with Beijing, as well as their defense of its virtues in government media outlets. We will show how the head of the largest financial firm on Wall Street praises the regime and even helped the Communist Party solidify its hold over foreign corporations. We will also reveal how and why one of the most powerful men on Wall Street invested $100 million into a Chinese Communist Party propaganda project. Too many of America's rich and powerful turn a blind eye to the nature of their business partners. This is not exactly a win-win scenario. We do not have to go into a full history of the Chinese Communist Party regime to see Beijing's true colors and ultimate motives. They are currently on display in Nanjing province, where they are violently repressing millions. President Xi Jinping's regime has set up re-education camps or free hospital treatment for the masses with sick thinking, as Beijing calls them. The CCP justified the camps because of a series of violent attacks by extremists in the region. Xi ordered his security apparatus to carry out a smashing, obliterating offensive, according to leaked documents. Round up everyone who should be rounded up. Even grandparents and family members who seemed too old to carry out violence could not be spared. The result is the largest mass incarceration of an ethnic religious minority since the Second World War.